beach! Ah!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Megs.
And this week we watched 2024's The Surfer. The Surfer drives his teen son in his Lexus to beautiful Luna Bay to surf, hoping to show his son the house above the beach, which he is desperately trying to purchase. It used to be his father's, and it's where he grew up surfing before his father's untimely death. They, however, are rudely turned away by a gang of local surfers led by Scally, a manosphere podcaster type determined to protect the beach from non-residents. The kid is mortified, and the surfer disappointingly returns his son to his mother and returns to the Luna Bay parking lot. Desperate to close the deal on the house before Christmas, the surfer continuously needles his real estate agent in an attempt to scrape up over $1 million needed to outbid another buyer. A colleague at the surfer's investment firm calls to let him know he needs to return to work soon to sort out an issue. His estranged wife also calls to say that she is engaged and having a baby, crushing his hopes of reuniting his family at the beach house where he wants his son to be able to surf as he did. The surfer's ex-wife, like the agent, suggests he give up his obsession with the beach house. The surfer observes a bum who is living in his broken-down station wagon in the parking lot and is being harassed by the Beach Boys. The bum tells the surfer that Scally murdered his award-winning surfer son and killed his dog. That evening, the surfer's surfboard goes missing. He goes down to the gang's beach retreat to demand his board back, but is forced to leave after defeating one of the surfers in a fight. He calls the police and an officer arrives in the morning, but the surfer becomes dejected when the officer turns out to be another disciple of Scally's, demanding the surfer leave and not cause more trouble. A photographer helps the surfer jumpstart his car and, in return, takes photos of him. When his phone dies, it becomes impossible for him to use the credit on his phone to purchase food from the parking lot food hut. In return for charging his phone and a cup of coffee, the owner insists that the surfer leave his father's watch as collateral. After the surfer's shoes and suit coat go missing in the bathroom, he sees the food cart is closed for the day, leaving him without food, water, his phone, or his watch. While trying unsuccessfully to steal his surfboard back, the surfer observes the gang initiating a new adherent who is branded. The surfer is chased off the beach, his car is vandalized, he is forced to hide throughout the night in the underbrush. In the morning, his Lexus is gone. Delusional from heat, sun, and a lack of sustenance, and filthy, bloodied, and barefoot, he wanders the parking lot, imploring beachgoers to lend him their phone so he can secure funding for the house. He is intermittently accosted by visions of a man dead in the surf and the harshness of desert spiders and birds. The surfer runs into his real estate agent, who assumes him to be a vagrant and says he's never seen him before in his life. Additionally, the policeman returns and laughs at the notion that his Lexus was stolen, telling him that his vehicle is actually the broken-down station wagon the bum lives in. He begins living in the station wagon, taking a shark tooth necklace from the car, which the bum had insisted his son had won in a surfing competition before he was killed by Scally. The surfer picks through the garbage to find food, drinks fetid water, and eventually tries to eat a rat he has killed. All the while, he has visions of people laughing at him. The photographer returns and shows the surfer a picture she took earlier of him in his suit in front of his car, proving to him that he actually does have a Lexus and a job. Enraged, he goes to the beach, nearly drowning the beach bully Pitbull. After patching the surfer up, Scally then reveals that the entire experience was a test to ensure that the surfer was worthy of buying the house for his family and becoming one of them. To finally ensure that he can be trusted, Scally forces the surfer to burn the station wagon while his son shows up on a bike and the Lexus has been returned to the lot. Finally allowed to surf, the surfer, the kid, Scally, and his gang all return to the beach, only to be stopped by the bum, who is returned with a gun. The surfer is able to convince the bum to let him and the kid surf by returning the bum's shark tooth necklace. As the surfer and the kid paddle out, the bum executes Scally and then kills himself, lying in the surf just as the surfer's father had. The end. Megan.
Hi.
What did you think of this movie?
I have a take. It's kind of long. I'd rather hear what you have to say about it first.
I thought it was interesting. The surfer the bum and Scally are all one and the same person in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Different aspects of the same man. It's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I love any movie where Nick Cage slowly loses his mind. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
always interesting. Um, I thought it was beautifully shot. I thought it was acted pretty well. I don't know. I'm really on the fence about this movie though, because on the one hand, it is um very much a psychological trip through toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other, it's the desperation of the surfer to buy the house, to fix up his family, to live this idyllic life that he has literally never lived because, as you find out, like, his father didn't just mysteriously die, his father killed himself on the beach.
Yeah. And that's
This
why
man
he had to
is
leave. And he
this man has had a
also,
fucked up life for his entire life.
right. And he also wasn't super little when it happened either. He was like a
No.
teenager. So like he was fully cognizant of what was going on. And there is some illusion that he is the one that found his father on the
Yeah.
beach.
Yep.
Um yeah, I'm kind of the same mind. About 33 minutes into the movie, there is a scene where the surfer pulls up, he Googles Scally, like he looks him up on like his socials and he finds a video of him. And during that scene when he's watching the video, and like it happened almost instantly, Elizabeth. As soon as the video started playing and Scally started talking about his beach bums, his beach boys, whatever they are, a line from a completely different movie popped into my head. And it would not stop repeating itself for the rest of the movie. And that line was, his name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a very Fight Club vibe to this movie.
Yeah. And the thing is, I would assume that most of our listeners already know what Fight Club is, but Fight Club was a novel written in 1996 by a gay author named Chuck Palahniuk. A lot of his books, he's not for everybody also, but I would highly recommend him. A lot of his books, and he has said this openly, his characters, they are people that are lonely, that are trying to find connection in the world around them. And it was made into a movie in 1999 with Brad Pitt and Ed Norton. And it's a fantastic film. There is a line in the movie that says, "You are not special. You are not a beautiful or unique snowflake. You are the same decaying organic matter as everything else." And I bring this up for a point, so stay with me for just a second. The author wrote that line to reject consumerism and the idea of individual exceptionalism, which is here in America kind of an issue and has been. It's been on the rise for like a long time. And so, Snowflake is become, to try not to stay political, just information time, not affirmation time, ended up being reversed. It was written in conjunction with people that like toe the line, go to work every day, work corporate jobs, have money in the stock market, have funds, have savings accounts, blah, 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 blah. And it's very anti-disestablishment. But somehow with the profound, like, oh my God, what is the word that I'm thinking of? It's not celebrity, it's popularity. It's popularity. But like with the overall popularity of that movie that came out, the messaging got inverted. And the reason that this is important, right, is because right when that scene happened, when he's watching that video of Scally, something clicked in my brain and it's like, oh, so it's like someone wrote a movie because there's that scene in Fight Club that in order to get in Fight Club, you have to stand outside of the guy's house for some number of days without food, without sleep, without water, without any kind of comfort. And if after this allotted period of time, you've been deemed worthy, you can come inside. But like the point of that is that like there's an awakening inside of the house. There's a community inside of the house. There's a connection. Whereas this is the perverted messaging that ended up happening because of that kind of situation. So he's not even clued in to the fact that he is waiting outside of someone's house. He doesn't even
Yeah.
want to be there. And also the guy inside of the house is a bad guy. So it's basically like an inverted, like, what about the guy that was stood on the stoop for 5 days? What would his experience have been? And like turn it into a movie about surfing. So to me, I'm conflicted because I can't find anywhere in research. I've been thinking about this movie all day. I can't find anything in the research that says that these movies or their like things are connected in any sort of way, but it it's so close to like being clever about correcting, like, hey, guess what? This is a thing that happened. We're correcting the messaging from that previous movie. And if that's what they were trying to do, that's very clever and it's very good filmmaking. But I can't find any kind of connection anywhere on the internet, on Reddit, nowhere, no message boards about this having been connected. So I don't know if this was just a fluke and it was just like an admirable fluke sort of situation, but it's very reminiscent of that to me. And I don't know how to feel about it because of that, because I don't appreciate when things steal ideas from other places without making it obvious.
I mean, the obvious connection is that Fight Club is also very much about toxic masculinity.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
I will say that I started to suspect about where he looks up Scally online. I started to suspect, like, are they testing him?
Yeah.
Because Scally talks about breaking down the id and reshaping these titans of industry to be their best selves. And
right. But it's
and
really just to make them even more toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really just to make them more dominant, more domineering, and more toxic, for lack of a better word.
Right. And then here comes the surfer, and like he's an anti-hero basically. You don't expect him to be the savior of the day, but he ends up coming in and destroying that cult. And like,
but like he doesn't, I don't think he sets out to destroy the cult.
No,
and
he doesn't.
I think the bum is actually the one that destroys the cult.
He is. The surfer is really just the enabler of it.
Do you think that the surfer, the bum, and Scally are all three separate people, or do you think they're all aspects of one man?
I think that they're all aspects of one man, honestly. Which, again, and it was so interesting that you said that when I asked for your opinion first, because it lines up, again, with the whole idea in Fight Club and this fighting with yourself situation, right? Because Tyler Durden is a delusion of our unnamed protagonist. Just like in this movie, we have another unnamed protagonist who seems to be fighting with other versions of himself.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. It's very fever dreamy. I don't know if I like this movie, but I don't think it's a bad movie.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I don't know if I liked this, but I don't think it was bad. I think it was interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm also not sure that it says what it set out to say.
I agree with you. And I think that comes down to the writing, because I don't think that this movie is very well written. I do think it's very well directed. I love the color palette they use. I'm fucking obsessed with it.
The color palette is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian McMahon being Julian McMahon, and I've never seen him in anything as an Australian. I've always seen him with an American accent. So it was such a treat to actually get to see him do something with his own accent. And it was one of the last things that he did before he passed away this year. I mean, like, that was a huge treat. He's such a good actor, and he played it so well. The acting was really well done, I think.
Especially considering that there's two named actors in the movie, and the rest of them are all young kids. Mm-hmm. They're all, I don't know if they're big in Australia, but they're definitely not names or faces that you would recognize in America, in American movies, in American cinema. Mm-hmm. So there is a nice level there that they're all kind of, to us, fresh faces. Yeah. And I think that they all were really good. I don't think that there was one who stands out as being bad.
No, I agree. I don't think that there was any bad acting. Everything looked very authentic. There was
Yeah.
nothing about the scenery that pulled me out.
What's really interesting about the scenery is that it all takes place in a parking lot and on a beach.
Yeah.
There is a shot of the house that he's going to buy. It is very far away. You cannot tell anything. It's nestled amongst other houses, so you can't tell anything about this particular house that he's looking at.
Right.
So it all takes place in this one very small parking lot, less than 20 spaces.
Yeah.
And this bathroom and this beach.
And it's very hard at the beginning to understand why he, number one, stays after he comes back after he drops his kid off at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the first night, and the cop tells him, or no, that happened the second night, but like after the first night and his board gets, like, why did he come back the first time?
Yeah.
Why did he keep coming back afterwards? After his car was stolen, why didn't he just fucking hitchhike off? Like, why?
Well, after the photographer juices his car up, why not fucking leave?
Why not leave then? Like, he literally just got in to turn the AC on full blast, and his excuse was for it being dead. I had the AC on all night. But, like, bro, do you not have fuel? Do you not have fuel in your car? Like, wouldn't that also be gone?
There is something psychologically anchoring him to that beach.
Yeah.
That is not...
It's just not clear other than
it's not
memories.
Clear. Yeah.
It's the memories of where he used to live and the drive to surf out, towards the breaker so that he can get a view of the house at the best angle on the horizon from the water, which is what he tells his kid. That's why he took him there that day. But like it's the writing, and like it's psychological thrillers are supposed to like throw you off and stuff like that, but there are no breadcrumbs in this thing. These are things that we've like deduced from years of watching ridiculous, weird movies. That like
there is one breadcrumb, and that's the French couple. When the French couple shows up in the parking lot, and he asks them if they're local, and they say no, they're from France. And he tries to warn them. He says there is a lot of localism going on around here.
Yeah.
You may not want to be here. You may want to find somewhere else. And they just take him for a bum. They offer to buy him a sandwich. But then they go down to the beach, and the male French person gets his ass kicked. And the woman is helping him back to the car. His nose is clearly broken. There's blood everywhere. So that is the one signpost that maybe this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Instead of it being all a fever dream.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very interesting movie.
It is a very interesting movie. I think had we gone into watching it without it having been for a project, like there's the intent that it's like work behind it. It's not just like an enjoyable sort of thing. Like we have to talk about it. We have to keep our thoughts straight about it. Have to remember not to talk to each other about it, stuff like that. I think that if we had just, happened upon watching this movie and like found interest in it, we might like it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but then again,
we're paid to dissect it. We're being paid to dissect it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so much of that is also just our normal, how we interact with media anyways, because Mystery Science Theater 3000 ruined us as children.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think that, like, if we go into, like, watch something with the intent of being, like, dragged off somewhere to, like, fantasy somewhere, like, outside of reality, we can just let go and, like, disconnect. But the idea that we have to, like, do this for any kind of work, like, it kind of, like, keeps you a little grounded in reality a little bit, so you can't be fully immersed. It is interesting. I can imagine that this would be a good movie to watch, like, on mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
Probably not acid. It would probably terrify anybody on acid, but I mean, it's. I think it's a good movie. What would you rate this movie, Elizabeth?
Oh, I was just about to ask you that question.
Yeah, I don't
know. Like from the acting, cinematography aspect of it, it's an A.
Yeah.
From the psychological point of it, it's a little harder to define. But it's probably still an A.
Yeah, my only real issue with it is that the writing is a little weak to me. It's very well acted, but you can only do what you can do with what's written on the page. I think it is a good movie. I think I would be okay with giving it an A as well. This is like the first time we've ever had to have like some kind of like actual like confusion about the scoring here, because this is a weird one. This might be the weirdest of his movies that we've seen.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's weirder than Mandy. I think it hits some of the same tropes, some of the same themes.
I mean, I would say that they're evenly like paced for weirdness. But
so what would we give the caginess of it?
I mean, I believed it. The only problem that I had at all with his performance wasn't even really his performance, it was his hair.
Oh, I thought his hair looked fantastic.
His hair looked fantastic. It was a weird color.
Yeah, it was that sun-drenched hydrogen peroxide color.
Yeah, it just looked like rust. I wasn't a fan.
And he's very tan. It's very clear that he surfs pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And the sun has lightened his hair. That's where you get that color from.
I'm just saying I don't like it. I thought it was a bad choice for costume. I'm allowed to have that opinion, goddammit. I understand why it looks the way it does. I just don't think it was very well done.
All right, you're allowed to have that opinion.
I mean, outside of that, I don't have any other critique on him. I would give him an A as well.
I agree. Well, there you have it, folks. This is an A picture with an A Nicolas Cage. We want to thank you for listening along. We appreciate our audience so very much. You keep us going week to week. This is our 75th Nicolas Cage movie. And we did take last week off because we're a little burned out, but we're going to get back to it. So if you've been following along, thank you so much. We're available in all of your podcasting apps, including YouTube. We are available on Instagram at Not the Bees Pod. And if you're feeling generous, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/notthebees. But I think that's going to do it for us this week, kids. I've been Elizabeth.
And I've been Megs.
And we'll catch you next time.